Okay, so you have an artist make a model, and then you have textures, and then you have a composer. I mean, this is art on top of art, on top of art, on top of art. It's all arts, for all the arts in a pile. I think it's okay if we, yeah, this is not even, for us this isn't even a discussion, like it's a silly thing, like there's got to be something else to discuss.
I don't know.
I'm sure we can talk about different words. Okay, what's the URL for your documentary about?
Oh, that was ages ago.
Yeah, I know, but these people might not have seen it, and it's really cool.
It's www.participatemovie.com.
Participatemovie.com. It's about participatory culture. It's really cool. We saw each other just 8 hours ago in the middle of the night at the.
And you were incredibly gracious, just like the woman on the other side said.
Oh, you are handsome.
Thank you for being here.
How can I help you?
I have two questions. So the first one is, whenever you guys talk about your job, you treat it very kind of like disparagingly, you know, oh, we just make some JPEGs and upload them to a server.
Yeah.
But you guys have been at this for over a decade. You've probably created more, you know, written and drawn content than lots of other creators in other fields.
It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously your work means a lot to the people who come to this convention. So I'm curious, is that really how you feel about it?
Oh.
Or is it more of like a coping mechanism with, you know, dealing with the insanity of what Penny Arcade has sort of become?
Well, I mean, I think that it still comes back to that voice. Is that you don't stop being damaged. Like just because something good happens to you at some point in a linear continuum, you know what I mean? Doesn't negate these other things. And the fact of the matter is that we don't feel like we're never going to be done learning this process. And so for us, we're always in the middle. You know, we're always so far away from what we think we can accomplish. But that's absolutely true. Now there are times, I mean, it would be ridiculous for me to say that it had not succeeded like as a business and that it didn't communicate to people. But our objective is far greater.
Excellent.
No, I think that we have...
PAX Luna. 2 stars.
We really just try to focus on making JPEGs and uploading them.
1 JPEG at a time.
That's what we look at.
Well, it works amazingly well, so.
Yeah, I mean, and to the extent that, you know, we ever actually like realize what has happened, we try to forget it right away. Like, you know what I mean? Like we try not to dwell on that because it's always, as I often say, like we often feel like there is a spell quality to it that there's no good can come from analyzing it, right?
Right. Okay, and my second question is, I'm a huge fan of Epic Legends of the Hierarchs.
The Elementor saga.
That's right. You know, read the book, watched Whiz Bits.
Whiz Bits.
I was in a couple of failed RPG campaigns, you know.
It happens.
And you guys have done a lot of really great like fan work in that, you know.
Yeah, in that context.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, will we ever see any more of it? I mean, I know that you created the amazing wiki, which I was delighted to see, and putting some of that stuff in print in the latest book.
Yeah,
So
you know,
I'm curious, will we see any more of it, maybe even in an official capacity?
No, you know what's funny is that we made the Rise of the Hierarchs, the Epic Legends of the etc. And then we made, almost immediately we made another work that was like a parody of that work, which is called The Song of the Sorcellator. And for some reason, we like the parody of the parody better. Like for some reason, because that's where you get Wolfoids and Wand Clogs and Lamborghinis, you know what I mean? Like, for some reason...
Grim Shadow.
Grim Shadow. And the Witchalocks, you know what I mean? Like, it's like as soon as you get, it's like, we made that first part, but the Epic Legends of the Hierarchs is about, it cuts it very close. Like it just tries to say this side of parody. And the Sorcellator stuff is just batshit. And so that's fun for its own reason. I'll tell you, yeah. I'll tell you what's weird. the idea of the
Like, this is the worst thing I've heard.
The idea of the Elementor saga, right, is that sort of Tycho gets this job to write, like to make the backstory for some game. You know what I mean? And that's, I'm actually doing that. like I actually, it's via some mystical process, like I'm actually doing world building and backstory writing for Scrolls, and I'm trying my hardest not to make it bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, this actually happened, like, I have foreseen this path for myself and it does not end well. So I'm trying to make it legitimate, or as legitimate as I can possibly make it.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'm saying is that
It's worse when there's two, right?
essentially what I'm saying is that if there's ever a comic book or perhaps even a novel, I would be delighted to.
Day one is what you're saying. Day one purchase.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey guys.
Yo.
The thing I love most about your panels is that you guys are hilarious.
Oh.
Like, it's just the Q&A. It's just, we're cracking up all the time.
I'm glad. I'm glad to be of
I mean,
service.
you guys could go into stand-up or something if the whole drawing, writing, business thing doesn't work out. Or you sell it a second, third time. I lost track, sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. So I was thinking if you guys could think of a question you wanted someone to ask you, and then ask the other person it, if that would work. Think of a question you want to ask yourself, and then ask the other person.
Like, I would think of a question to ask me, and I would ask it to him.
Correct.
What?
But wouldn't he know the answer already?
Yeah, but he doesn't know what you'd say. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it won't work.
This is a rich tapestry.
Leave away.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I got nothing for him.
No, but you're supposed to ask it for you, and then. Ask
Oh, right, it's for me.
Yeah.
No.
That's the point. Because you have nothing for him.
But what is your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Yeah. You have to have one. Is it just brownie?
Think a word. No big deal.
I didn't even, look, I don't even care about words, okay?
Yeah, it
Slip my
would probably be dick.
It's born out.
I like
think
a
it's born
lot.
out. It's born out in the work.
And Mike needs to ask.
It's not gonna happen, dude.
Just don't care enough about him to ask him anything. Let's see. What did you have for breakfast?
A banana.
Fascinating.
I haven't talked to a comic strip yet, but I have to say, go for the eyes, Gabe. Go for the eyes.
He did. He literally
Do we
did.
think it's funnier if Gabe has his eyes closed and is looking through Tycho's eyes? Or if he has his eyes
No,
like
they have to be
crazy
closed.
open? Okay, let's try wide open.
Since we know how to it can be funny if they're closed. They need to be.
He's sort of like looking through the optic nerve.
Or closed. Squinty?
No, you guys did it. You guys brought that one to life. Now. Now we're ready.
Oh, I will. Just be patient.
In due time.
My name is Esther.
Hi,
and
Esther.
This is my first PAX.
Oh, welcome.
I'm a big fan. I have two questions. The first one is for Jerry. He actually asked it to Mike, which is, what is your favorite word?
I really do think it is crisp. Like it's so compact, and you learn everything you want to know about it right there. And some words, as you may be aware, kind of have a taste beast. You know what I mean? Like the act of saying them is an interactive thing, and it's something for you to mouth experience. And I don't know, crisp. I like crisp. I often say that.
Have you had crisps? That's not my second question.
Crisps? You mean like chips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like the chips that are called crisps. There are actual chips called crisps.
Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, well, you should.
Listen, you like them the most. This is an incredible chip.
Okay, and my second question is, I'm a big fan of the fourth panel series. That
Oh,
you guys
sure.
do. I was watching the creative process, and it's very interesting, and it looks too easy.
Does it?
I was wondering if both of you could talk about the difficulties of the creative process.
Well, I'd say that the truth is that they just don't show the videos where we just sit in there for 3 hours and don't make anything.
No, and listen, we have done that. That's the worst. I mean, we have had them in there. It's one thing if we're just there and we can't come up with anything, and we're like, okay, this is it. That's it. That's no more Penny Arcade. It's gonna be, that's on us that we did that, or didn't do it, as the case may be. But it's very different when you have writer's block and there are 3 people with you cataloging the process. You are the worst fucking kind of monster. It is horrible. And so we have done that. I mean, we have had fourth panels. God, I wonder if we can get him to cut one of those up where we didn't make one. Like seriously, to do a 14-minute fourth panel where we just shift uncomfortably from would that make you feel better? Because I mean, I always feel I think the fourth panel stuff is interesting. I mean, it's interesting even to me, like 'cause you're not aware of it while you're doing it, right? But at the same time, I think it's valid and useful to express how challenging that can be. And in fact, in season 1, the very last fourth panel, where we more or less give up. You know what I mean? That's cataloged. I mean, you can see that right in that strip. I mean, they must have cut an hour of silence out of that thing. You know what I mean? But I think, and that's why we showed that one. That's why we have that one there. But I think that there's probably some value in just showing a complete failure to create. You know what I mean? Because that's real. I mean, that's just as real. That's just as real as the other ones. You know what I mean? In fact, it's intensely more real.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Hey, hello, Mike.
Hey,
I saw you draw a Dick Wolf at Prime, so I was wondering what would look like a female Dick Wolf.
hold on. So, I'm going to tell them what I said. I was trying to think of a way to sort of make things better.
An olive branch.
An olive branch.
This is his fucking idea.
In the morning, I was like, you know what? Problem solved. I have a solution. And he looked at me, he's like, really? Wow, what are we going to do? I said, I got a comic idea, totally going to solve the whole thing. And he goes, what? Vagina wolves.
Can you draw one for me?
I'd be happy to.
No legs, just
Michael. Can you see my dad face? You see how I say, Michael?
Doing it.
With the emphasis.
I got to think about it for 1 second.
Draw only part. Just draw the vagina. Don't draw the whole wolf.
Well, I'd be disappointed if it's only a part of it.
Oh.
I drove all the way back from Montreal for that.
Michael!
No. shaking her head. I'm stopping.
No, that's all you get.
See? All better.
It's not me. I have my shit together.
Hi guys. I was here.
Merci beaucoup.
I was here yesterday, and I followed a moist slit with food.
It's not moist slit, it's slit moist.
Slit moist? Shame and degradation upon me.
Okay, my wife didn't like that either.
So now I follow a vagina wolf and asking and talking to Mike about his art. My girlfriend
My
is...
arts.
Yeah.
Plural.
Yeah, arts. My girlfriend's a huge fan of yours, and she asked me to come up here with a sketchbook
Oh.
and wondered if you would draw her Wonder Woman. Not now, because you're doing that thing.
But you know how
Yeah,
it works,
I'm doing
right?
This thing. But when I can draw Gabe with like the Wonder Woman crown.
Honey?
It's Gabe with the bracelets.
With the bracelet.
And the lasso.
Also, she'd like to know what Wacom tablet you're using.
This
You have to
is
flip it over.
an Intuos model PTK 840.
Intuos 4. He seems to like it.
So
Yeah,
like-
I've tried Cintiqs before and I just can't get the hang of them. I don't know why this is easier than actually drawing on a screen.
Yeah, drawing on something that doesn't show what you're drawing, like he did for his entire life, is for some reason something weird. Yeah, no problem.
Hi.
Yo.
Jerry,
Yeah.
you just mentioned this a moment ago, but you have been tapped, summoned, invoked by Notch of Minecraft fame
It's true.
to do lore and whatnot for
Yeah.
this new game.
I'm having a lot of fun with it, actually.
That would be great to hear about. What? How did that happen? And
Somebody else asked me this. I wish that there was a thing where, you know, I was like the seventh son of a seventh son. And, you know what I mean? Like, he sent me an email. It's like, and then the conversation was sort of wide-ranging. I asked about the game. I wanted to know about the mechanics and stuff. And I wanted a big pile of art. And then I said, so what is it you want me to do exactly? And they're like, we want you to write it. And that was not enough information for me. But what eventually became clear is that they wanted to develop a game and they didn't have a lot of, you know, it's like that's not the part that they were excited about. They wanted to do the part that they thought was fun. And for me, this is the part that I think is fun, so it works pretty well. Yeah. Hi.